Hello Beach Bums, welcome back to the channel. Getting into something that I have not done in a long time, and that's going to be some flounder gigging. It is getting to be that time of year. We're getting late summer, early fall, a lot of flounder hanging around in the surf zone. So in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, I'm going to go out to the beach and walk and see if I can flounder gig. I've done this some inshore from a boat, but I really enjoy going to the beach and just walking the beach and looking for flounder. It's such a fun experience getting to see everything at night and the interactions of the wildlife in their element at nighttime. But I'm gonna go over the gear that I use while I'm flounder gigging. Before I do go out and make that decision, a couple of things we're looking for. I am looking for very low winds. It needs to be as low as possible, maybe a light north wind, because on the Gulf side, any kind of ripple on the water makes it kind of difficult to see. So if you've got any kind of wind rippling up the water, you can still see, you can get by with some of that, but less is more. You know, the better you're going to be able to see with the least amount of wind or a little bit of a north wind. Of course, you do want it very calm as well. You can't go out there if it's rough or if you have a lot of swells. Any bubbles that wash over, like with the waves crashing, it's going to stir up the bottom and create bubbles, so you can't see through the bubbles, and stirring up the bottom of the sand just makes it very difficult to see. So if you have like really short sets, like if they're coming in every 2-3 seconds, it's going to be very difficult and frustrating to see. So you want to have those swells spaced out, or like minimal swell, so that you can see, because I'm walking very, very close to the sand, so very close to the beach. So I'm looking at that. I've got windy. I'm showing you the conditions that I actually went out in on this video, and that's pretty ideal conditions. That's what we're looking for. So before I go, I'm checking that, making sure everything looks good. Also with the tide, I want to make sure that we're not really at high tide and that we're not at low tide. I want to be in between. I do prefer like an incoming tide, because it's going to make these flounder a little bit more comfortable hanging in those pockets up close to the beach. When the tide's going out, sometimes I feel like they're trying to get out of there because that water's decreasing and they're wanting to get to deeper water. But as long as that tide's coming in, makes them a little bit more comfortable. They're a little bit more willing to hang around in that water because they know more is coming. So I'll do like an incoming tide, but I try to make sure that I'm not too close to the high tide, because I don't want it so deep that I'm wading in really deep water, and also that I have more water to look through to see these flounder. So try to space that out. So I went about at the middle of that tide cycle, right before it started coming back in pretty good. Okay, and we don't have like a big tide swing right now anyway when I went. So pretty ideal conditions: low wind, calm surf, good tidal movement, and the tide movement is what I want it to be at night, which is important because when you're flounder gigging, you're using lights. It's better to do it at night, obviously. You can do it during the day, I guess, but I've never tried it, and I don't know how effective it would be. But this is the equipment that I'm using. I've got a flounder light. It's got the light down here on the bottom. It's got a PVC pipe with a little holder. This one was made by Coastal Flounder Lights. I picked this up at a tackle store several years ago. We do sell some at Beach Bum Outdoors. It's not this brand, but very, very similar. It does have the wires coming off here, and it's got the two connections here that you connect to a 12-volt battery. And once you plug it in, boom, light is shining. Pretty simple. What I do here with this, I'm carrying the light. I take my 12-volt battery and I slap it inside a backpack, and I've got those leads going down into the backpack carrying that. This does get kind of heavy, so keep that in mind. Also, if you're like, what I'd like to do is take a cooler with me, like a soft cooler, and attach it to my backpack to put the flounder in. Here's a tip: if you're ever doing this on the Gulf side, you got to be aware of sharks. I haven't run into any personally, but I know some folks that have had their flounder on stringers before, walking around on the Gulf side, and have had to deal with sharks. And I just don't want to deal with that, so I like to put them inside of something. It does make your load a little heavier, so make sure you're prepared, because you're going to be walking a lot if you do this. You're covering a lot of ground. I mean, miles, okay? Like, this is not an easy thing. It's not always that you get out there and you're seeing flounder every 10 feet. You got to cover some ground. So you're going to be walking a lot with a heavy load on there, so be prepared for that. It is some work to do this. Some people call it cheating, but it is still a lot of work to get out there and gig these flounder. The gig that I have, this is a bamboo gig. It was actually a buddy of mine, and I asked if he wanted it back. He was like, yeah, I'm good, I don't really need it. if you do need it dusty, let me know. I'm willing to give this back to you if you happen to be watching. I don't know if this is like a frog gig or what, but it's pretty nice. It's rusted right now, but very good. It's got the what are these barbs on here, so that when you do stab that flounder, it hangs on to them pretty good. It's actually pretty difficult to get them off even with your foot, but I don't know how long it is. This one's probably, if I had to guess, 9 feet, 10 feet maybe. I don't know that you necessarily need something that long, but this is a pretty nice gig. You could use this one in a boat, I believe. It's long enough that you could. You probably could get by with a lot shorter if you're just walking and doing this in the surf, which I do prefer and do enjoy. This is a really fun thing to do. If you vacation down here and you happen to get a house on the beach, this is a fun thing to do with your family. So I would encourage you to explore this option. Obviously you gotta have the right conditions, and it kind of has to be the right time of year. You can do it in the summertime pretty much anytime, but even if you don't get to gig flounder, just having the flounder equipment, the flounder lights, and going out there at night, as long as the water's clear and calm, you can see a lot of wildlife. It's really cool, it's really neat, but you do need to be careful. Gotta be mindful of sharks. You're gonna see a ton of stingrays, so make sure you're watching your step. Good news is, you fortunately have a bright light and you can see pretty good, so just watch where you're stepping. But really fun thing to do with your family. I have not done this with Annalise yet. My daughter, she is 6. As she gets a little bit older, probably something that I'll take her on, just because it's just so much fun getting out there and seeing everything at night. It's so calm. You got the beach to yourself. Really fun family activity. So I would encourage you to do it. But I'm gonna hit the beach in the morning in the wee hours, and we'll see if we can find us some flounder, gig a few, bring them home, cook them up. All right, we are walking and looking for some flatties. The water is dingier than I expected. I was at the beach today, not fishing, but just having a good time. We took the boat out, enjoyed ourselves, and the water was pretty clear, but it is relatively dingy right now. So I'm surprised to see that. And it's a little deep. And of course, the deeper you are, the harder it is to see. So right now I'm just walking the edge, seeing if we can see anything just right next to the beach. Flounder will hang just right on this lip right here a lot of the time. Okay, I moved beaches because the first beach, the water was really dingy. It's a little dingy here, but not as bad. I can actually see. There's a stingray. Just one stingray right there. Lots of rays. You will see those. Let's see, what's right here? Nothing? No? Okay. There's a needlefish. They like the light, evidently. Coming right to it. Oh, I just stepped on one. Dang it. Dang it. Just stepped on a flounder. It felt like a good one. I almost was about to say, I feel like I'm gonna step on one because it's kind of deep, and if they're buried good, they're very hard to see when it's deep like this. He was right in one of these ruts here. Stepped right on him. Dang it. Got one right here. Buried down a little bit. He is not legal though. We're gonna tap him. That's probably, see how, you probably can't even see him on the, yeah, you can kind of see him on the GoPro, it looks like. I'm gonna spook him, he's a little guy. That's how I stepped on one, I didn't see it, but just right, there he goes, right in that rut. So our first flounder, I feel good now. we saw one. Not a legal fish. Stepped on one, so should be some around. Just got to find one that's worth stabbing here. Nice crab right there. Speckled crab. Needlefish. Get out of here, needlefish. What are you doing? Oh, here's another one. Looks like one right there. Oh, that's a big one too. Oh my gosh. He fooled me. That's a gigger, if I can get him. Got him. Got him. There we go. First fish. Heck yeah! He tricked me. I didn't think he was gonna be that big. Whew, that water coming out of out of my cooler is cold. That is a southern flounder. Most of the ones we find out here are the Gulf flounder, but that's a southern. I spooked him, and then got a second chance on him. But check that guy out right there. Nice fish. Probably about 15 inches. Solid. Yeah, he is pushing 16. About 16-inch fish. Nice. Not too bad of a gig shot. I'm not like a professional by any means, but you want to get them in the head and the face, preserving as much meat as possible. And you can see I got him like right there, right behind the eyes. But nice fish. About 15 3/4. Good one to start the day, the night, the evening. All right, we got one on the board. Sweet. Oh, here's another fish right here. He's a little guy. We'll jump him with the safe end here. There goes. All right, seeing some fish. That is good. We've seen 3 already. Gigged one. Already off to a great evening. Stepped on one. Oh, here's one. Yeah, right in front of that stingray. He's close. I don't think, nah, he's not a keeper. There, easing off there. He sees me. There he goes. He's friendly. He let me touch him a lot. We got a stingray right here. Try to spook him off. Get out of here, stingray. One right here. He doesn't look too big. There he goes. He might have been legal. He was close. He was close. But we're gonna let that one roll. That's the rule. You want to just know that it's legal. And I was uncertain on that one. Right over here, another little guy. Buried down. There he goes. Shoo! Another fish right here. Man, there's a bunch of flounder around. A lot of little guys. Yeah, another small guy right here. There he goes. Seeing a lot of fish. Oh, yep, that was. I couldn't even tell. He might have been legal too, daggone. I mean, I was looking at him, but I was like, man, I don't know if that's fish or not. And I couldn't tell how big he was. Didn't want to stab anything. Just saw like 3 or 4 fish right in this little area. There's 1, 2. Is that 2 fish? No, just 1. Another small guy. Look at this, flounder everywhere. So I'm looking, when I'm doing this, I'm looking for their backs raised up, kind of makes a different little spot in the contour of the bottom. Or their eyes. If their eyes are not buried, you'll see them. And it's a little bit easier to see them on the edges. Like when you are scanning on the edge of your light, a lot of times you'll kind of catch something that looks different, looks out of place. You're like, oh, woohoo. Oh, stingray. Okay, easy, buddy. There's one. It's been a minute since I've seen one. There he goes. Little fella. Lots of little guys. They're so fast. They spook off like that. Any big ones hanging around? He's looking right at me. Ah, he's close. Let's get a better look at him. Yeah. He's decent. Man, they are so camouflaged. They're so good at that. There he is. Look at him. He's close.
They're so good at that. There he is. Look out.
Not a bad fish, not a bad fish. Just want you a little bit bigger. He might have been like right on 14. Cool to see. Here's another one. Let's see ya. He's little. There he goes. Didn't even let me touch him. It's weird, you get in areas where they get a little bit more concentrated. You'll go through a stretch of nothing. And honestly, I can't really even pinpoint any kind of difference. Oh, it's a butterfly ray. I thought I about gigged it. I saw the eyes. I thought it was a giant flounder buried up. Oh my gosh, that scared me. Big butterfly ray. Bunch of stingrays right here. Might be some flatties mixed in. Trying to be sneaky. The big butterfly ray about got gigged. I thought it was a giant flounder. Woo! You about got it, buddy. Here's another one. Whoop, there he goes. Not a keeper. Struggling to find ones that I'm confident in gigging. Here's a guy. He's small, small, small. There he goes. Got a stingray. Gotta get him out of here. What gets me is I'll get distracted by a stingray. I'll see a stingray and I'm like, oh, I need to check that out, see if it's a flounder. And I kind of get locked in on it. And then I'll end up stepping on a flounder. But I've seen a bunch of flounder tonight. All right, here's one, all you can see is his eyes. But he's got a big old back. Hiding out in some deep water. We're gonna take this one, he looks good. Woo! Just need these waves to calm down. All right. Let's see you, buddy. Another southern. Ugh. Woo, woo. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. All right, flounder. Can you see? Flounder number 2. This one is 14.5. He was a little close. I was pretty sure he was legal. That was a risky stab. But 14.5-inch fish, solid. We'll take them. Another southern though. They've got, this one has a lot of meat on him. His back was sticking up really high out of the sand. Woo! Kicking sand on me. Ugh. So that's what prompted me to take him. Flounder number 2 going in. Making progress. Spooked that one off. Didn't think it was big enough. Oh, here's one right here. About to step on that one. He looks kind of small. Not bad. Some of these, they're just like right on the edge. Kind of like that 14.5 I gigged. Oh, I knew there had to be one in this hole, and it just darted off. I didn't even see it. I just saw the trail. That's a good one. We're gonna take him. There we go. Yeah. Oh, oh, easy buddy, easy buddy. Heck yeah. All right. He was just chilling. It's harder to, like that was a little bit deeper. It's harder to hit them right in the head when they're deeper like that. This one looks about 15. Solid, solid. Another southern. All the ones I'm gigging are southern. Break dancing. Throwing sand everywhere. Probably a lot of the ones I'm letting go are the Gulf flounder. He is actually 15.5. Yeah. Nice. Good fish right here. Nice fish. I was trying to show them to you. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. All 3 flounders so far have been the southern. I can't really get all the sand off of them. And he keeps doing that. Stop it. Stop it. If we can get a Gulf, show you the difference. But that's mostly what I catch hook and line out here, are the Gulf flounder, not the southerns. But cool fish. We've got our flounder haul here. No giants, but 3 solid fish. Had a great time last night walking the beach. Got to see so many flounder and were able to bring these 3 home, which will be delicious. This style of fishing is, there's a lot of opinions on this. Some people think or feel or believe that this is cheating and disagree with the tactics. Great way to have some fun and harvest some fish. It is still a lot of work. It's not like a lot of people are like, oh, that's too easy. Trust me, if you've ever done this, you know this is not an easy way to get fish. Hook and line, obviously, I would say can be a little bit more challenging sometimes, but the amount of work involved hunting these fish down is still a pretty fair chase trying to put food on the table. But we're gonna get this guy cleaned up. I've cleaned flounder a couple of different ways on this channel. Typically, it works okay. I always start white side first. That's the first one that I start my cuts on. But most of the time you can just fillet this like any other fish. Just make your first cut and then outline the top here. Just cutting in a little bit. They do have like all these little tiny little bones up here, like all the way down. So it does make it a little difficult because you are getting caught on there some. But that meat that we're kind of cutting through that looks kind of weird, not eating that anyway. That's just kind of a little weird section. Some people use that for bait. There we go. Cut through. Once we got that initial cut, we can just angle our knife all the way along these bones here. It's pretty easy from here. Cut down and over that backbone. Angle that knife down. They have a pretty thin rib cage. You can pop through that or cut around it, either way. It's up to you. We're gonna just cut around those rib bones right there. And we are separated. See, even though those initial cuts were kind of weird with these bones, we didn't lose any meat. Like this meat right here that we're leaving on there, we're not gonna eat that anyway. We're just gonna peel that away. So you kind of have a buffer a little bit, and actually the pieces of meat that we want, we're all good. We got all of that. So there is a little bit of forgiveness with a flounder. The opposite side, what you can do if you want, some people prefer to clean fish this way. You can cut down this lateral line, which is a little harder to find sometimes on the camo side here. But we're just gonna cut right down that lateral line on that backbone. And what that allows you to do is now you can come in from the top. So that's basically like the same cut you would make here on the top, but now you're on the bottom, so you can start there and you can cut, angle your knife down and just ease that meat away. So this is just personal preference. You can clean it how you like, whatever's easiest for you. Try not to cut yourself. I touched my thumb there, but it didn't cut me. So just easing that away. So now we are opened up. Get that separated there. And now we can access this top loin same way, just angled down along that backbone. So you're just doing the loins separately. I prefer to clean fish kind of the same way. I'm more confident in those cuts. Doing this is a little different for me, but either way is effective. Separate that, there we go. So now we've got our two loins on the camo side already separated. And then all we gotta do here is just separate the meat. Pretty simple to do. This is the thinner side on that white side. Whoop. There we go. And you can just pull this apart if you want. Separate it, and that actually is the pin bones separating from it itself. So two nice loins there will be delicious. We've got our flounder all filleted up and ready to go. We're gonna make us some fish tacos, which we have not made these tacos in a long time, or at least this way. And we're gonna season it up with some mojo rub, very good for taco fish tacos, and of course your basic salt and pepper. And then we're gonna cook it in good old butter. Oh yeah, good for you. Annalise over here and Mimi are working on the cheese. They're getting that all grated up for us over there. And eating a little bit of it. Courtney, this is your station over here. She's dicing up some vegetables. We've got tomato, onion, jalapeno, mango. I think that's it, right? I think. We're gonna put that together and make a little mango salsa. So it's gonna be super good. But I'm gonna get this seasoned up. We're gonna cook it on the skillet, and then we're gonna put together our tacos. Should be delicious. All right, everything's ready. Courtney's gonna build us a taco. Show us how this works.
Okay. Flour shell?
Tortilla.
Flour shell, yeah. Oh, I need a thingy. A fork, or should I use what you ate with? Cooked
You can get a fork.
And I probably won't like less easy. Should I put 2 fillets on there?
As much as you want.
Okay, I want to. Okay. Next, I think I'll add my cheese.
Oh, do your cheese first?
I'm gonna do my cheese
Okay.
first, which we didn't say. It's sharp white American.
Cheddar.
It's cheddar?
It's cheddar.
Oh, sharp white cheddar.
That's what you told
My
me to
bad.
get.
Oh, I did, sorry. Okay. You have to have a hefty amount of salsa
Salsa.
because you definitely want all the flavors.
It's good color too.
Yeah.
Makes it look very nice and pretty. Look at that. That's a legit looking taco there, Courtney.
Yep. I'm ready.
All right. Annalise, what are you wearing?
A dance costume I used before for a dance.
Very pretty. You want to do a twirl?
Well,
Beautiful. All right, Courtney.
I get to go first?
Logging
you
food over
always
there.
go first.
Yeah.
You always go first.
I do, I guess, don't I? Okay. Should you go first this time? No? Okay, I'll go first. I don't want anything to fall out. It's kind of fat.
Yeah.
I made it a little too fat,
Yeah, that's
maybe.
like a burrito over there.
Okay. You want to see my bite?
Look at that. Yeah. Flounder taco.
Mm,
Is it good?
so good.
Is it too spicy?
No, it's been a long time since we've had this, like this way.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, we've been doing street tacos a lot. Mimi?
Oh, yes, because I can't wait.
Here we go. Saving the best for last.
That's
over
right, Annalise. Here we go. I might not have put enough sauce on it.
I'm the best.
here. Of course. Oh, well, thank you, but far from it. How is it? Amazing.
It's delicious. Oh, wow.
Falling apart there.
It's so good.
Very nice.
I love it.
Annalise,
Your turn.
we just did salt and pepper on your flounder.
And just cheese and her top.
You want
I
to?
only like salt and pepper.
I know. Well,
I
you,
can't stand the.
you don't like anything spicy.
That was
Is
it?
it good?
You're eating flounder.
Salt and peppery.
I like flounder.
You do? That's good. Super mild. Well, it was fun. You know how Dad caught these? Do you even know?
No.
I stabbed them.
Yep. With something kind of similar to your fork, but a lot longer.
It's called gigging. I'll take you someday, but you might need to be a little bit older.
Yeah, and you don't want to accidentally gig a foot.
Gig a foot.
Gig a foot. Not a gigabyte.
Here we go. Gonna try it. Beautiful. Solid.